new business, and just remind everyone, if you can just check your electronic device, make sure that it's turned off, please, or turned all the way down. Our first order of business under new business is ZB 2015-35, the petitions of variance. The applicant is David Recco. The property is located at 16 Ware Street, and the petitions of variance to install a driveway that exceeds the maximum curb cut pursuant to section 6.11 of the zoning ordinance. Mr. Recco? How are you, sir?
How you doing?
Good, good. So we have your petition before us and what your plans are. So could you just explain to the board what your intentions are, please?
Yeah, I just want to put in a driveway because Ware Street's getting packed last winter and stuff. We never had one here because my mother lived there and she passed away. I ended up buying the house, and there were 4 cars. Last winter was terrible. You know, you leave cars in the street are bottlenecks. So I'm trying to put in some kind of driveway to get some of the cars off the street, actually, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think there was a problem with maybe the distance 30 feet. I can go another 4 or 5 feet in, so there's no overhang, if that would help out.
Okay. Okay, so your intention is you'd like to get your cars
Off the street, yeah.
I know when I drove down, I don't think I've ever been on that street. That's one of the first things I noticed. It's, you know, a fairly narrow street.
Yeah.
And I did notice there are some neighbors that do have off-street parking and some that don't.
Right.
Okay. And how long have you been in the home, sir?
60 years.
Yeah.
My mother lived there. I'm there 50 years. I moved away for 10 years and came back.
Yep. Okay. And it's a 2-family?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Anything else you'd like to add at this time?
That's it. Any other questions?
Okay. Yeah, Joe, did the petitioner get a copy of the city's comments also?
I believe so. They were sent
Yep.
out on the 2nd.
Okay. Did you receive the copy that came back from the city with
Yes.
their comments?
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right. If you don't have anything further, I'll just open it up to the public, and then we'll open it up to the board. Okay, sir? Thank you. Anyone here like to speak in favor of this petition? In favor? In favor? Yes, sir.
Tom Machado, 147 Barica Street. I'm the contractor on the paving end of it, and not only that, I lived up in the neighborhood all my life. I grew up there. Davey's my cousin, and like I say, it is a small street. You know, and also David is handicapped.
Yep.
So I know I do a good job up there. We're not, you know, we're going to utilize what space we have to work with, and that's all I can say. But like I say, Davey's been there all his life. I lived up there for 27 years.
Okay.
So
Right.
like I said, I would appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Shadow. All right. Anyone here in opposition? 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 Hearing none, that portion of public hearing is closed. I'd like to open it up to the board. Mike.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a couple quick comments. When I went out to the site this weekend, I actually met with Mr. Recco because he saw someone poking around near his front yard, looking at his house, wondering what was going on. So he came out to talk to me, and he agreed with the recommendations of the planning office and he said he did have some room to extend the driveway. I think he's, unlike some other people in the neighborhood or other parts of the city, has come forward to have the driveway done properly, as opposed to just doing it and then doing it on his own without going through the proper channels. So as far as the other comment from the planning office, I don't, in my opinion anyway, I don't think we need to see a stamped plot plan, because my understanding would be that the engineer's office would still have to go out and look at the driveway, and Joe, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but they would have to look at it to make sure that it's up to the driveway regulations, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so I don't have any further questions. I don't have any questions or any further comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Van.
I agree with my colleague. This is a pretty straightforward application, and the applicant is willing to, go through with the recommendations of the city. So overall, I think, you know, we can provide relief to this variance. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Van. Dennis?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I just have a couple questions, if I could, for, I think, David Rico. I was wondering what the dimension is. You're suggesting that you can make the driveway longer, which I think makes a lot of sense, so that we can stack
I have
4
5
cars.
more feet that I didn't measure. It was 30 feet. I have 5 more feet up to the porch, and still 5 feet away with the porch extend off the boundary. So I had 5 more feet that I can go.
So you're open to making the dimension 35 feet then?
Yes, actually, let me see.
I know, that's 18, but I don't think he has it.
That would be the new addition,
Oh, you,
street coming up to the porch. So I have 5 feet. I can go 35 feet even.
okay,
I measured the cars, all my cars,
yeah, you kind of have to do that.
yes, I have 4 or 5 more feet I can go to make it easier on the planning board, so there's no overhang on the curb. And the cars, I measured all my cars, my biggest cars, a Taurus, is 16 feet long, so. And the other cars like 13, 14, and 13. So that should be able to stack the cars in with no overhang to the sidewalk.
Right, right. I'm trying to remember how that porch access works. Are there any stairs that come off the porch into the driveway?
Yes,
And would they be within that 5 feet?
yeah.
So then you wouldn't really have 5 feet then if the stairs are coming into the space where the parking is?
Well, we could even go 3 more feet, I'm still gonna have plenty of parking. There will be no overhang.
So,
It's gotta be I can redo that, because the steps have to be redone, repointed and stuff and everything, so I can,
okay, 16 Ware Street. I'm just pulling this up. So the, Joe, the requirement for parking in the city is 18 feet, is that correct?
That's correct, yep.
Okay, so we'd be looking for something less than 18 feet, with 36 being the total of 2 spaces. And so I think what I'd like to say, 35 makes a lot of sense, but we'd be asking you to modify the stairs so it wouldn't enter into the parking space, if that makes sense.
well, the way it's gonna go, I probably have more parking on either side, and I can build some steps. I'm gonna take the curbing and actually, the steps from the sidewalk up, the granite curbing, and add that up as a step up. And they're only this big, so to add on to that, and your parking, I have plenty of parking on the side, I believe.
I'm just looking at your Google Earth here for a second. So the stairs could be on the side of the porch, right? Is that what you're saying? And that would be out of the way of the parking. So you're open to doing that?
Yes.
Okay, that's perfect. I think you've done a great job maintaining the property, and I agree with my colleagues that you're taking the step to do the right thing, to come here before the board and get a
Yeah, well,
variance for
you're doing it
parking.
the right way, I mean, you look around, everyone didn't,
And you know, you're doing a service to the neighborhood by easing the on-street parking constraints that already exist there. So as a two-family home, you have 4 cars total for the?
yes, my 2 daughters have moved downstairs.
And you're making 4 off-street parking spaces?
Yes, plus I have 1 parking permit outside,
Yep.
so,
Yeah, it's great. It makes a lot of sense. And you have plenty of green space, and you're leaving the right green space on either side of it? Makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. Gary?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I think it's a good plan. I think the work you did, understanding the comments from the city and making those adjustments and, you know, knowing forthright about the staircasing, coming in and making that change is great. I think the fact that you're coming back to the city and going back to the old neighborhood and maintaining your status in
That's
the
it, that's why I
residents and
brought up, so.
having your family here is a big thing. And
you know, I agree with Dennis and my colleagues that the property's in great repair, and taking 4 spaces off the street. Hopefully, this winter's not like last, and
Yeah, I hope not.
obviously you have a qualified, committed contractor that's aware of projects throughout the city. So I think it's a great compromise, and I wish you the best of luck over there.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. Sean?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I agree with the rest of the board with regards to their comments. I believe it's a great plan as well. It is I mean, the neighborhood is a very tight squeeze up there, and taking some of the cars off will alleviate some of the issues regarding driving and parking and whatnot. And I've been up to the property as well. It's very well maintained, and I think, and I appreciate that you're working with the city and trying to work with the numbers as far as getting the driveway into some sort of conformity, so we can relieve
The
any
rules, you gotta
stress
follow
from
the
the,
rules, you know what I mean?
yeah, so we can relieve any more stress from the street and from parking on the street as well. So again, I think it's a great plan. I wish you the best of luck. So
Thank you.
thank you.
Thanks, Sean. Mr. Recco, the plan you brought up, you don't have to bring it up now. Was yours drawn to 34 feet or 35?
34.
34. Okay, so just looking at conditions here. So Joe, we don't have anything that shows 35 feet, correct? I know we had a couple different drawings here. I see one with 36. I saw one with 30. Mr. Recco had one with 34, which I don't think any of us had seen.
Correct.
You haven't seen anything with 35, okay?
No.
All right, so I would say, as one condition, we need just a revised set of plans or a drawing that replicates the 35 feet. Okay?
If you would like, Mr. Chairman, the board may want to condition it such that the updated plan showed 35 feet and perhaps relocated stairs, as it seemed like that was
Yeah, well, that was
an item
where I was
on.
going to jump to, was the stairs that Dennis referenced. So what, a couple of things will last on the condition, as long as everybody agrees that the new set of plans that you'll provide will show 35 feet in length. You'll show the relocation of the stairs for the existing porch that you're going to move
Okay.
for the discussion with Dennis, which you said you could take care of that, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Were there any other conditions, any other board members? Yep, go ahead, Mike.
I guess I'd just like clarification, because as you mentioned, one of the drawings that we have does show 36 feet, and you still have the pad from the stairs, so is there enough, do you have to relocate the stairs, or?
I don't think I do. I mean, to measure the cars, to get the cars, say I had 2 feet, 32 feet, whatever. Then I won't have to bother with the stairs.
But I'm just wondering about the drawing that shows that you have 36 feet.
I think we
then the
measured
pad.
back a little more the first drawing,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
all right.
Yeah, go ahead, Dennis. Yeah.
Mike, I think that drawing refers to a distance from the street, including the sidewalk.
Yes, it does. Thank you, Dennis.
So, I mean, if I don't have to redo the porch, fine, I mean, but, I have 30 feet. I think if I even went 32 feet, I'm gonna have plenty of room with no overhang. Then I don't have to bother that pad.
Right. Well, we definitely can't have the overhang,
Yeah.
as they say. You're putting a brand-new driveway there, so we've had a few meetings where I've discussed the whole deal about stacked parking, and then before you know it, the car's sitting out in the sidewalk, and we don't want that.
No,
So,
but the way the porch is set up, and
Yep.
actually some of the park with my small cars go in, I think they can go right around the side of the pad. And I can have a little stairway up and not bother that whole pad and
Yep.
leave the steps intact.
all right.
I
Well-
think we'll satisfy your needs and will save me some money on the other end.
Yeah, the intention of the board isn't to have people spend all kinds of money just to satisfy us, but I just want to make sure the finished product, meets the needs of the zoning, plus, you know, if we can get 4 cars in there
Yeah.
comfortably. And so what's the wish of the board on this? Mr. Recco described, you know, his current vehicles that he has, but any other board members have any thoughts about the length that we're talking about?
I think the 18 feet per parking space is written into the zoning for a reason. There are vehicles, certainly, that can be purchased that are longer than 18 feet, and we want to make sure that we have appropriate parking for the long term, not just for your current vehicle state, right? So, for instance, you know, there's a lot of trucks that are certainly more than, you know, the length of your Taurus kind of thing. And so I really think that we should be providing something close to 18 feet for each vehicle. And I think that the 35-foot dimension gets really close. I mean, that's basically 17 and a half feet per space. So if we can get there, it's my opinion that you would want to do it so that you can provide a lot of value for
I mean, we
that.
can figure that out.
Um,
Mr. Machado come up, Tommy come up, and we'll figure it out. We'll give you a revised drawing. That's what you want. But they still have to come up and check it anyway, right?
Yeah, for the driveway permit, that's, which we don't entertain here, correct?
Right. Driveway permits are through the engineering office.
Yep. All right, so what do we,
Make a motion.
no, I mean, are we doing 35 feet? Is that what the proposal is here?
Are you accepting the fact that we can achieve 35 feet, I guess? And so it would make a condition that you'd achieve 35 feet as you suggested?
Yeah, I mean, I might not have to touch the porch, though, once we design that, you know, the pad, because I'm gonna have steps going up, little steps coming up to that. We'll design it in a way you'll be happy with it and be legal, and I'm not trying to put nothing over on you. But I just want to get done before the winter comes.
Sure.
All right, so on the conditions, we're talking, I still gotta talk to the variance anyways, but 35 feet, and gonna show the stairs. Stairs need to be
Revised.
relocated,
Yep.
revised. Okay, and new set of plans. Okay, well, as I stated in the beginning, you know, when I took a ride down there, obviously, if we can get off-street parking on that street, I think it benefits, obviously, you, the petitioner, but it'll benefit the city, and I'm sure you'll keep all your neighbors away from the front of your house so they don't take over your spots, so.
Yeah, with that, yeah.
And seeing as there's no opposition here, but again, there's other homes on the street that do have some parking. There's obviously others that don't. And I noticed when I looked at the plan of the street, the parking's kind of interesting, who have off-street parking. Some of them look like they go real deep, other ones look like there's only 1 or 2
Right,
cars.
I mean, most of the park was done without permits, and they
Oh, yeah.
hot topped everything in the yards and everything.
Well, and you can see that when you look at the overview, but, you know, you're obviously doing the right thing, coming down here, get a quality plan. We have a quality expert here that's done work in the city for many, many years, so I'm sure the finished product will be nice. But as far as the variance goes, you're exceeding the curb cut by 1.5 feet, but based on getting 4 cars in there, and if we look at the prerequisites for the variance, I believe, you know, the hardship here is we can take a look at the shape and size of that lot, and even the angle. I can see where the extra 1.5 feet of the variance is met. I don't see any issue with the public good being interrupted here, or somebody's going to be upset about it.
Yeah, we'll
And
make sure the finished product, there's no overhang.
Yeah,
It'll be-
yeah.
You know, I got that, say 35 feet, 34 to work with. And actually, I got a pad on this side, I can go a little deeper on the right side if I take that landing pad out of there,
sure.
which will satisfy, you know,
Yep.
more.
And you've met all the side yard requirements. You're going to have some green space still. So
Yep.
overall, you know, it sounds like the board's in favor. I'm also in favor of granting the variance with the conditions we spoke about. So could I have a motion, please?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion for ZB 2015-035 for a variance for David Rico at 16 Ware Street to install a driveway that exceeds the maximum curb cut of at 16 feet 6 inches, with the following condition, that the applicant submit revised plan showing the distance from the property line to be 35 feet deep and to show the relocated stair to access the porch. And that plan be submitted to DPD for review by the board.
Okay, could I have a second?
Second.
A roll call?
Mr. Perrin,
Approved.
Mr. Bailey,
Approved with conditions.
Mr. McCarthy,
Approve with condition.
Mr. Peck,
Approve of conditions.
Mr. Paglio.
Approved with conditions.
Okay, Mr. Recco, you've been approved. Wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, seeing as we have no other business this evening, and, no, I'm not, I was gonna mention something else. I was being challenged about how fast we would have finished this evening, but does anybody have any things they want to discuss? Mike, would you get something we can talk about for a half hour?
I guess this is not a zoning-related issue, but I know we discussed the antique clock a few weeks ago, and I don't know if the manager is at home watching right now, but we're just wondering if we can get an clock update, if possible, through you, Mr. Chairman.
I'll move that to Joe. That belongs in Joe's department. Okay, anybody have anything? No? Joe, next meeting is scheduled for?
October 26th.
Okay, and, yep, okay. All right, with nothing else to discuss, could I have a motion to adjourn?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Second.
So moved.